In your spiritual pursuit, a paradigm shift has to happen, otherwise something is wrong. If we advance on our spiritual journey, a paradigm shift has to happen from the material attitude to a spiritual attitude, or from a material paradigm to a spiritual paradigm. So what is the material paradigm? It is that I am the controller, I own, I am the proprietor of things, and I exploit, I enjoy, I exploit, I suck energy. And pride is the main principle of a material-minded person, and it is fueled by the desire to lord over everything. On the other hand, the spiritual paradigm is not to control but to let flow. It is not to own stuff, own things, own people, but is to take care of things as a caretaker. We have been given the chance, and we are serving, we are taking care. And that brings the spiritual paradigm is a paradigm of service. It is an attitude of service is there, not of exploitation. And the main principle, or the main basic characteristic of a spiritual paradigm is humility. And it is fueled by an attitude of service. When we start our spiritual journey, it is quite natural that in the beginning we have still this material paradigm in us and this material attitude. And so it happens that we misuse spirituality and use it for our own, and try to control others with it. We try to exploit others with spirituality. We are trying to establish ourselves as superior and try to gain cheap adoration of others by the help of spirituality. But of course, real spirituality has nothing to do with this type of subtle exploitations or subtle prides and all these things. And before we try to enjoy the world in a gross way by sense enjoyment, by our gross senses, and we try to rule over others by pride, and now we try to rule over others by humility, by cunning spiritual ideas, and we try to enjoy life on a subtle way. So this is quite natural that this happens, but this has nothing to do with real spirituality. It is just materialism taken into spirituality, and this has to, and so therefore a paradigm shift has to happen from the material attitude to the spiritual attitude. So there is a nice story to illustrate this. There was a couple, a fisherman and his wife, and they went for a pilgrimage. So they went to the holy place where all the saintly people are, and they stayed overnight in the dharmasala. In India it is called dharmasala. It's like a shelter for pilgrims, and there everything had a very nice smell from the offerings in the temple, and the nice cooking, the very cooking and goodness. But then the husband said to the wife, "I cannot sleep. I miss the smell of fish." So then the wife, she had in her bag, she had one cloth which she used always to wipe her hand after they were cleaning the fish and taking out the intestine and everything. So she had this cloth, and she put it on the nose of her husband, and then he felt relief and he could sleep. So the moral of this story is that we are living our material life. In this case, it is like the fish market for this couple, and we're going into the spirituality. We're going to pilgrimage. We're going to the holy place, but still all the attitudes and the way of thinking and the way of life from the material is still stuck in us, and we still miss it. So we bring this dirty cloth into the spiritual life, and so to say we bring our materialism into spirituality. So so now the question comes, how this paradigm shift will happen. So we're talking from the Vedic perspective. So according to the Vedic teachings, this paradigm shift can only happen in the association of persons who have already gone through this paradigm shift. So therefore in the Vedic system, there's always given stress on accepting a spiritual master. A spiritual master is a person who's coming in disciplic succession and who has already gone through this paradigm shift by the association of his spiritual master. So in the Vedic understanding, this selfless love, this attitude of service, this humility, it is not part of this material world. It comes from the spiritual world. And in fact, because we have lost these attributes, these qualities, we are incarnating from body to body. So assimilating these qualities again into us will liberate us from the material condition and will qualify us again to live in the kingdom of God with our Satchit Ananda body, with our body, eternal body, full of bliss and full of enlightenment and knowledge. So we can say that the selfless love, that is the gift of the true spiritual master, and the paradigm shift takes place in the association with the spiritual master.